Hello everyone, this is me Sharon. Welcome back to my channel, and for today's video I'm gonna show you how to crochet this scrunchie, and this time we're gonna add some beads. It's different from the previous one that I have showed you. Ito naman we're gonna work double crochets, but we're gonna add some chains in between, and then lastly we're gonna add some beads. So ang ginamit kong bead is about ilalagay ko na lang sa screen yung size, but this ones I have used before to make bracelets, then I kept them, so now I use them and added them into my scrunchies. And maganda rin to if you would like to make a business out of it, and then you can sell it for like 60 and up. And depende sa material na gamit nyo, of course. If you're going to use yung materials na mas mura, syempre, mas mura nyo rin mabibenta. And if you're gonna use the premium yarns or yung mga imported yarns, of course, the handmaids that you're gonna sell is going to be a bit pricey. It all depends on how you market your item. Kasi iba-iba naman tayo ng price talaga. That's the reality. I also have made ones with the maroon velvet yarn, so this is one of the first yarns that I have bought a few years ago when I started my crochet journey, so para meron siyang memory for me, and I really like the softness. And as you can see, pag garter ang gamit nyo, medyo kontrolado yung pag stretch niya, unlike when you're using the hair tie. And we all know that some hair ties aren't really that sturdy enough, and with this one, kontrolado na mga stitches around. So I did about 70 stitches around in this one, so it shouldn't be too crowded, otherwise medyo mag-i-stretch na mag-isa yung elastic sa loob. So it has to be just enough. And this one kasi the size is about 7 inches, tapos yung half an inch doon pinagdikit ko, and then tinahi ko siya. So that's what we do at first in order to make this round elastic. So i-join pa natin siya by sewing, or you can use a glue if you want. I actually have my sister tested the other scrunchie for me using the elastic, and I added a glue. Yun ang ginamit ko, at hindi ko siya tinahi. So far it's still working. So ito yung glue na ginamit ko, E7000. So ang sabi dito is kaya niyang idikit yung mga jewelries, yung kung ano-ano, yung waterproof, high elastic, flexible. Yan. So if you plan to buy one, I will add the link in the description box. And if you'd like to see yung scrunchie na ginawa ko for myself, ito yun. Ito, gawa siya sa Interfill 4-ply yarn. Medyo sturdy siya. And since yung elastic na ginamit ko is wala sa 1/4 yung thickness niya, so dinoble ko siya. And ito naman, I did about 5 rounds of double crochets. And then, panghuli ko na ginawa yung ruffles, or yung 3 double crochets into every stitch around. So if you'd like to follow this particular pattern, ganun lang gagawin nyo. Imbis na 3 rows or 3 rounds, gawin yung 5 para maluwang yung space niya doon sa loob ng kung saan yung elastic. And then of course, yung final round is yung ruffles. Anyway, so without further ado, let's start with the project. So when you're getting the size of the elastic, you can measure about 6 to 7 inches long, or you can get it by wrapping it around your wrist. Pag medyo maluwang siya, it should be not too tight or not too loose, ganun. Maybe this long, so I'll try to cut it around until here. So this is the size. I think this one measures about, ayan, 7.5 inches. So bali 7, because around that ½ inch we're going to stick it with the glue, or you can sew it by hand. So ito na siya after kung madikitan tapos matahe. So nasa 1/2 allowance na magkapatong. And I think this is about ½ inch. So with this thickness, ang gagawin natin is, dito kasi sa ginawa ko, 2 rows lang. So 2 rows lang pwede na, pero walang masyadong space para dito sa garter. And it has to be this thin, yung fingering weight. So if you're gonna use Lanalon, yun, ganon. And ito, kasing nipis siya, or kasing kapalang lang siya ng Lanalon na single pull. And of course, you will need some beads para ilalagay natin later on sa pinaka-final round. So you need about 20 to 30 pieces. Or you can eyeball where to put the bead para hindi kayo masyadong mangailangan ng maraming. So these are glass beads na ginagamit for bracelets. So we're gonna start with the first round, and we're gonna chain 70. So while you're chaining 70, there's another tip for you para hindi nyo na kailangang i-run in between your fingers para mapunta sa isang direction yung top part ng chain. All you need to do is insert your hook into the first chain that you've made, and then insert it into the loop you're working on. Para after chaining 70, you just need to work a slip stitch, and you don't need to run it in between your fingers just to make sure that it won't get twisted. So after chaining 70, so slip stitch to form a ring. So lulusad lang natin. So guaranteed na hindi na siya twisted after you do that. And now we're gonna chain 2, which will count as 1 double crochet into the next stitch. 1 double crochet. So bali 1 double crochet into every stitch around. Yan. So sinasama ko yung, kinukuha ko yung dalawang loop para later on, pag pinagsama natin yung mga 2 rows or 3 rows nito, makikita kagad natin yung katapat niya na stitch sa kabila. So ganun ang ginagawa ko. So you will know what I'm talking about once we finished doing all this double crochet stitches in rounds. So ito na siya after ma-finish na natin, and then we're gonna slip stitch on top of the beginning chain 2, or yung pinaka first double crochet natin. Tapos uulitin lang natin, mag chain 2 tayo ulit, which will count as 1 double crochet, and then into the next stitch, ganun pa rin, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet into every stitch around. After we finish the 2 rounds, we're gonna insert the elastic. So make sure that the stitches line up. We're gonna join the 2 edges, and we're going to work chain 3. I joined a different color, but you can join the same color if you want. You don't need to fasten off on round 2. So after that, chain 1 for the chain space, 1 more double crochet into the same stitch. So we're going to work V stitches into every stitch around. So 1 double crochet, and then chain 1, and then 1 double crochet into the same stitch. Ito yung mag-create ng ruffle, and at the same time, majo-join niya yung elastic area. So, by the end of this round, makakabuo na tayo ng scrunchie, and you can stop on this round if you think that you would like to have this kind of scrunchie. Or if you don't like, you may continue because I will show you how to add the beads. So, dapat pantay talaga ang stitches kasi para hindi siya tabingi. So, makikita nyo naman na tinitingnan ko pa sa likod, and since I only have one loop left at the back, so madali ko lang siya napapag-join. So, we will just keep repeating that until we get back around. Once done, now we're gonna proceed with round 4, and on round 4 we're going to add 3 more stitches. We're gonna chain 3, chain 1 for the chain space, and then into the gap between the 2 double crochets we're gonna work 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet in between the 2 double crochets, chain 1, and then 1 double crochet on top of the next double crochet. So we will continue this until we get to the last stitch. This is another way on how to make this scrunchie more ruffled. And after this, we're gonna work the final round. That's where we're gonna add the beads. To finish this round, we're gonna work a slip stitch on top of the 3rd beginning chain, and then because I'm going to change a color, so I'm going to slip stitch, chain 1, and then fasten off. So this green one may not be enough, so I'm adding a new color to this one. So bale, kinapos ako ng yarn, but that's okay. As long as you have the same thickness of yarn, you can join different colors to make it colorful. So before we do the final round, we need to insert those beads into the yarn by using a smaller needle. So kailangan talaga we have different sizes of needles para na rin if we're doing the embroidery or other things like this one. Yan, mas maganda bibili kayo ng mga iba't ibang klaseng sizes. So I'll just insert all of these beads into the yarn, and then we're gonna start the final round next. So you can insert the yarn into any chain 1 space. After that, we're gonna chain 1 and then 1 single crochet into the same chain space. So nakikita nyo naman medyo mahirap siyang i-push. That's why I have inserted it into the last round. So after that, you're gonna chain 3, and then into the next chain 1 space we're gonna work 1 single crochet. So that is going to be the repeat pattern. I'm going to insert my first bead after doing this pattern for 10 times. So we need 10 clusters of chain 3 and 1 single crochet, and then after that, that is when we're going to add our first bead. So after working 10 clusters, we're gonna chain 1 and then insert our first bead. So this is going to be the repeat pattern. Chain 2 after that, and then work a single crochet into the next chain 1 space. So this is very easy. You're just going to repeat that until you get back around. So medyo matagal nga lang, and kinapos ako ng color green, so ginawa ko na lang, nag-add na lang ako ng same kapal ng yarn. Ito naman is like the color is mocha, parang ganun. And then sa pinaka last na cluster of chain 3, ilalagay ko yung last na bead, and then chain 1, and then work a single crochet, and for the last time we're gonna chain 3 and slip stitch dito. Diyan. Chain 1, cut off the yarn. So lastly, i-weave in lang natin yung mga ends at tapos ng ating scrunchie na may beads. So bale, every 10 clusters of chain 3 and 1 single crochet, doon ako naglalagay. Ayoko masyadong mabigat eh. But if you want, after every 5 clusters. So papakita ko yung after every 5, ganito siya karami. So yung bead nito medyo mas magaan lang. Unlike with this one, mas malaki yung bead niya. So mas mabigat siya. Okay, so eto na siya, tapos na siya. So, ang maganda dito, hindi siya ma-stretch na sobra kasi napipigilan siya ng mga stitches na ginawa natin for the first 2 rounds, diba? Na 70 stitches. Ito naman yung back part niya. So, makikita nyo, pantay dapat yung mga stitches. Wala ka dapat na miss. So, combination ng cotton and acrylic ito. That's why medyo mabigat siya ng konti. And of course, nakapagpabigat ng konti yung mga beads na nilagay natin in between. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment down below if ever meron kayong mga gustong tutorial na gawin ko sa video na to. And of course, please do subscribe. I'll have new videos almost every week. So guys, once again, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in my next video.